back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Nikki Amateo and Katie Sharp. They're the owners of the new business, the Emporium Spooky Goods and More in downtown Bangor, and they have their grand opening tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So tell us about your new store. This is super exciting.
Oh, yes. This is something that Nick and I have been honestly thinking about doing for many years. Nick and I are both actually big fans of just everything spooky. We love horror movies. We love going to haunted houses. Obviously fall is our favorite time of year. We love when we go on vacations. If we go anywhere that's like older historical, we go to graveyards and go just. I mean, we would just wander, and we love going to places like that. So this is just something that we have been doing for years. We also go to horror conventions when we discovered them over a decade ago. So we get to meet our favorite people from some of our favorite horror movies. So over the years, we have gotten the chance to meet people and kind of collect different things. So it's Halloween all year long in our house, absolutely.
Right.
So we just noticed that there are more people out there like us that want to have
Me.
you know,
I'm one of those.
you want to have skull stuff in your house. You know, you want to have fun horror movie posters or something like that. So we, over the years, have met so many cool people at different conventions, at festivals, and all sorts of stuff. And we've just been like collecting our resources and said, why don't we make it a one-stop shop for people like us who want to decorate their home or just have fun things like that.
And I think we're recognizing too in Bangor, there's a market for this in Bangor right now. We have a permanent year-round haunted house in the Bangor Mall. Every day I drive home from work and I see people always outside of Stephen King's home. I think he was actually spotted in Bangor the other day.
Yeah. So we actually live right around the corner from the house. So we've lived in that neighborhood for as long as we've been here in Bangor. And the same thing, we notice it. And even before we moved to Maine, because Maine is just a beautiful place and it has a lot of ghost stories.
Right.
And it just has a lot of really neat history. So we get up here and we're like, there's nothing like that here.
Right.
And so we noticed that and we were like, okay, well, let's start thinking more about actually doing what we thought about doing. And even too, I've noticed, I'm a big Dark Shadows fan, the 60s TV show, and it takes place in Maine. And while Collinsport is actually a fictional town, the big city that they go
like
to.
Dark Shadows,
The big city that they're always mentioning to go shopping and everything like that is Bangor.
Right.
And there's nothing Dark Shadows in the entire state, so we're like, why don't we?
I thought it was Bucksport.
So Bucksport is supposed to be Collinsport, but the big city that they go to do all their, their big city errands and stuff is Bangor. They're always talking about going to, well, Bangor, right?
Right.
But yeah, so there's nothing like that around here. So we want to, expand upon that as well. So, but yeah, so we've just been collecting all sorts of things to have in the shop, like you see, keychains and clothing and candles, and we're really trying to work with a lot of local artists and stuff. So we have a lot of quilted items like embroidered keychains. We have bags, and we actually just got a nice shipment from her. She's from New Hampshire. The candles that we have are made by a couple in Massachusetts, and just like getting a lot of really neat stuff that people could just find stuff that's made, and that's going to also fit their personality.
Right. Yeah, there's a market for gift shops and just shops in Bangor right now. That's so exciting. So can you talk a little bit about what this grand opening will be like tomorrow?
We had a soft opening on Saturday, September 28th. So we've been open. So we are actually open even today. So you can certainly come by today if you wanted to. But we thought like, okay, well, every store has like a grand opening. And so we originally planning to just do it ourselves. We already had October 12th kind of picked out. But then the folks at the Downtown Bangor Partnership reached out to us. So Betsy Lundy and her coworkers reached out to us and said, welcoming us to the neighborhood, so to speak. And so they actually offered, would you like to do a ribbon cutting ceremony? We've got the giant scissors and everything. And so we're like, oh, okay, that's perfect. And so, and basically, if you come by at 10 a.m. tomorrow, there will be a ribbon cutting ceremony. We'll have just some refreshments, nothing too fancy. But we're also going to do a raffle. So we'll put together a bag with kind of a sample of some of our spooky goods.
Love a raffle.
I know. So we're giving out raffle tickets, just one per person. So if you come by between 10 a.m.
Just with a purchase.
Well, no, you don't have to purchase anything. Just one. But we're all limiting one per person. So if you come between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., you can get one ticket. We'll do the drawing at 11. And so that's what we're going to be doing.
10
And we'll
11,
still,
yeah.
and we'll still be open all day. And we wanted to leave a little space because later in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, is the Bangor Zombie Walk, which we
Oh my
which we
gosh.
also donated one of our spooky goods for that because
Yeah.
they have their own contests and prizes and such
So
like that.
a lot of fun in Bangor. I hate to cut you off, Nick, but can you just say your address and maybe your website to wrap up?
Oh, yeah. So 22 State Street, Suite 1. There's actually a nice little skeleton hand that points you what door you're supposed to go into. And our website is emporiumspookygoods.com.
Easy enough. Katie and Nick, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
We'll send it over to Conrad Zapinski with that full forecast.